Hey everybody, welcome to season 1.5 of Marvel Rivals, and I guarantee you everything is changing. Everything has changed, everything is changing, the meta's changing, the characters have changed, what people are playing, everything is different now, and I'm going to get you caught up in this video on which characters were buffed, which ones were nerfed, the new meta, the importance of which characters to use, and strategies that are going to be crucial for you to win, as well as the ultimate team-ups that are going to make a difference and give your team the advantage to win. My name's 8-Bit, I'm a cool dad, and I'm also a Grandmaster. Welcome to the channel, let's get started. First, let's talk about which characters got nerfed. These are the characters you're really not going to see as much, and then also you're probably not going to see him banned as much in the higher level ranked matches. First up is Doctor Strange. His nerf was to lose some of his hit points, about 50 hit points, and it seems like a small amount, but sometimes Doctor Strange, often when I'm playing with him in my team, is hanging by a thread a lot of the time. This could make a difference in some matches, but it may not, so it doesn't mean he's not a playable character, but that's what they did to him. The biggest nerfs everyone's talking about are the nerfs that were done to the strategists, the healers in the game. 3 of them particularly: Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman, and Luna Snow. And I'm not going to get into detail about all the little tiny things they did to each one. Really, the biggest thing they really did to each one of them was that they made it so that their ultimates take longer to charge. It takes more energy. So in other words, they're not going to be spamming their ultimates as often, and I think a lot of teams are going to like that. It may free them up from being banned as often. I know as a strategist myself, I play a lot of Luna Snow and Cloak and Dagger, and I would like to see them banned a little less often, and maybe that will free up a little more opportunity for me to be a little more strategic and intelligent with these characters. And that also means the other teams won't be able to spam them as often as well. So it'll be an even playing field, and I'm just going to choose to look at this in the best way possible and see how this goes as the season progresses. Now onto a more exciting part of this video are the characters that got buffs. And again, I'm not going to get into all the minutia of each character. I'm going to have all that stuff listed in the description of this video, but really I want you just to get the big picture here of what's going on with these buffs with these certain characters. First up, in no particular order, is Iron Man. He got a really great buff, particularly with his Unibeam, and what this really means is that he doesn't have to depend upon a team up with Bruce Banner anymore to get that extra gamma radiation damage boost. In fact, that team up has been nerfed a little bit, so now expect a lot of less bans on Bruce Banner and a lot less team ups, as well as just more Iron Man solo on their own, and there's a meta forming around this, and I'm going to get to this later in the video. Star-Lord got another pretty cool buff. It's 50% more fuel for his jet boots, so he's going to be in the air a lot more and causing a lot more problems on the battlefield, particularly at angles and in the back line. Adam Warlock got a couple noticeable buffs, and it's going to be enough that you're going to see him start to show up in a lot of competitive matches. First of all, his healing, even though it's still on cooldowns, has been strengthened, so he's going to do more healing, particularly with Soul Bond, and then he's got a damage boost as well, particularly with his charge attack, which can one-shot a 250 hit point character. So hey, you DPSs who don't like to play supports or healers, you may want to give Adam Warlock a chance so you can do a lot of damage and not heal as much and feel like you're just awesome on the battlefield and contributing and not being like a wimpy strategist, okay? Alright, let's talk about Iron Fist for a minute. They nerfed him just a little bit, but I think it's because they buffed him so much that they had to nerf him just a little bit on his attacks, just to say, well, we nerfed him to balance him out. But I'm going to tell you, it's probably not balanced. He has increased damage, he has increased hit points up to 300 now instead of 250. He gets a maximum bonus health that's increased from his Dragon's Defense. I mean, he's just gonna be a absolute menace in a master's hands if he's not banned from all the high level matches, which I think he's gonna be the top banned diver, but that's just my opinion right now. And that's all the characters I'm really gonna summarize right now as far as major buffs and nerfs. Everyone else pretty much got small buffs, and again, you can look at the video description if you want to see more specifics on this. They're just really not worth getting into. It just means that, again, most of the characters in this game are absolutely viable, and in the hands of someone who knows them well, you can do very well, okay? But that doesn't mean you need to hard lock that character when you get competitive. And if you've seen my other video, the 18 truths about how to get the Grandmaster and how I made the Grandmaster, you do not want to be that irritating, annoying person that hard locks a player and gives the rest of the team no chance but to scramble to find other players to play and have no consideration for the team comp, okay? I'm going to get into this here. I'm going to talk about this more because this is really important, and a lot of people just play this game and they treat it like Call of Duty or playing their favorite superhero and all that kind of stuff, and it's wrong. This is why so many of you are stuck in the lower levels, okay? you need to start considering the meta and what's happening here with these lineups. And so here's my first example. Since the Human Torch is really powerful and so incredibly popular, everyone is playing him right now. So I guarantee you that high level, or actually pretty much quick play, high level, any match you play in this game, there's gonna be a Human Torch. All right, so you got one person in the sky. Now earlier I mentioned that Iron Man had a very important buff, so that's gonna be two people in the sky. And on top of that, Storm and the Human Torch have a team up with their alts, which makes Storm's ultimate become a fire tornado, which absolutely not only has a longer duration, but can just absolutely destroy and wreck an entire team. It is so crazy when I see this pulled off in a match, and we all run when we see it. You're going to see now a growing 3 DPS meta with Fliers. You're going to see this all the time, and you're going to go against this, and you better be prepared for it. Now, personally, I do not like teams with 3 DPSs. It just reminds me of quick play when everyone wants to play DPS and they're squishy and people don't really know how to play them right. But if a team of 3 Fliers knows what they're doing, you are in trouble. And what you need to do is be ready for this meta. So what they're going to have is they're going to have their 2 healers, they're going to have 3 Fliers, and they're going to have 1 tank. And that's going to be the meta. That is the meta. That's what people are seeing. That's what is showing up in articles all over the internet right now. This is the new meta, and this is what's upsetting the players. Here's how you need to deal with these 3 Fliers. You need to choose characters with hit scan. Now, what is hit scan? Hit scan, really quick, is when you do not need to lead or aim ahead if someone's flying, for example, and time your projectile to hit them. With hit scan, you just put your reticle over the character and you pull the trigger or click the mouse button and boom, they get hit. It's that simple, okay? Hit scan is serious business for these Fliers. So there's characters that you need to choose that have hit scan. So here are the characters in no particular order that have hit scan. Punisher, Hela, Psylocke, Black Widow, Adam Warlock, Luna Snow, and Star-Lord. These are all characters with hit scan. This may sound just obvious, but it really isn't. I've played in so many matches where we have like a Squirrel Girl and a Spider-Man as our DPSs, and no one can hit these Fliers at all in the sky. And they keep bombarding us the whole match and tormenting us, and no one wants to change characters, which is, again, another one of my deadly sins that I talk about in my other video, all right? You're not going to rank up if you will not switch characters and use characters that have hit scan. Out of these hit scan characters, they're all really good. I would say Hela is probably the most powerful, and if you get good with Hela, you will snipe these people out of the sky instantly. I play a lot of Luna Snow, so she's got a great hit scan, and she can heal, and she can self-heal. She's the whole package deal. Choose one of these other characters, please. DPSs, anyone on the team, just switch to these hit scan characters. If you see people fly, and I guarantee you, you will shoot them out of the sky and you will win the game and you will rank up. Or they'll switch characters and play other characters that aren't in the sky because they're being tired of being shot down. Either way, you win. All right, let's talk about another meta that is growing, and you can expect to see this and you can expect to get really upset and emotional, is diving. It's clear that developers want us diving as players because they buff the diving characters. Now, the diving characters I'm just going to briefly mention here. The vanguards include Captain America, Hulk, Venom, and Thor. The duelists that are divers are Black Panther, Iron Fist, Magic, Mr. Fantastic, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, and Wolverine. Now, you people who never play strategists, you do not understand the pain of divers. All you understand is that you're not getting healing and you're getting frustrated and you're like, you know, GG's, no heals, or where's my healing, and you're yelling at your strategist. This is why, okay? Your strategists are busy trying to survive. They're busy trying to fight off divers. I've lost so many matches because as a strategist, I'm getting killed over and over again, and it's on me. I could definitely do better as a strategist at countering them. In fact, I'm going to create a video at some point on how to counter divers. But my experience is that it's very frustrating, and when you're fighting them off, you don't have time to heal your team. And so I guarantee all of you, if you're losing a lot of matches, go back and watch the replay of the match and look at what the other team is doing. And chances are they've got people diving into your back line and creating havoc and keeping your healers from staying alive and healing your team, and you're losing all the battles. battles. So conversely, if you want to win more matches, you need to be good at one of these diver characters or two of them. The more that you're good at, the better. So again, you can be able to switch up on the fly depending on the needs of the team. Get good at these characters. I truly believe that someone should be diving on your team. One or two people max should be diving against the healers on the other team, especially at higher level ranked matches. And as you can see in the background video here, it's me playing Venom, and I've been practicing Venom a lot to get Lord with Venom, and he's been buffed. He's a great character to play because I just love diving the back line, and I'm practicing because that's the value I want to bring to my team. So if no one wants to dive on my team, at least I want to dive. Okay, so let's put this all together here with a few team comp ideas. The first one is a great team that's well balanced and will do well in highly competitive matches because you have characters that can counter flyers with hit scan, and you have characters that can dive. All right, so first up you would have Luna Snow as one of your strategists because she has hit scan. She can heal really well. For your other strategists, I suggest Cloak and Dagger for great offensive power, great healing, and then Dagger has projectiles that seek out targets, so it's easy for her to hit flyers in the sky. Next up, I suggest Iron Fist to dive the other team, which is obvious, and also in addition to that, he has an amazing team up with Luna Snow in which Luna Snow gets an extra ability that knocks enemies back, damages them, and heals your team. So you definitely want to make sure those two on the same team together. Your next DPS is Hella because obviously she has the most amazing hit scan in the game, and she just has crazy damage output that can help take these flyers out of the sky and also wear down the tanks that are in the mid battle. For the two tanks, you'd want Magneto for your central battle tank because he's just been buffed and he's just incredible right now. And also you would want Venom for your other tank to dive and help Iron Fist out to disrupt the backline of the enemy team. This combo is very versatile. So it's got one team up, like I mentioned before, and it can handle flyers as well as have a really good strong dive, and you've got a good strong tank in the middle. This next team composition is fantastic if you're dealing with flyers and you've got people diving your team at the same time, which is terrible. It's a total nightmare. All right, this is what you want to try. You want to use Luna Snow again for her hit scan. You want to use Loki because he's great against divers because he has that rune that creates a few seconds of immunity, and he also deals a massive amount of damage if he has one or two clones, and his damage is splash damage, so it's really great if you have someone fast like Spider-Man or Panther. You can just hit next to where they're at and do a lot of damage to them. So for DPS, you would want Namor. Namor is a great fighter in the back line because he can place his squids back there, which will auto-target Spider-Man or Black Panther and take them out. I see so many players not play Namor correctly. They go on the front line with Namor and just try to throw spears the whole time while the back line is just getting destroyed, and he's throwing squids out in front of the front line, which gets shot down in seconds by the enemy. Look, if you're going to play Namor, play him correctly. Play him in the back line, put your squids back there, defend their strategists, and then throw your spear across the map to hit tanks and even flyers for that point. There's no damage fall off with his spear. There's no reason why you should be in the front line with Namor ever. You should be throwing your spear across the entire map. Next up, you want to use the DPS Punisher. Punisher is very versatile. You can keep him in the back with his turret, or you can have him up front helping the tanks fight. He can shoot down the flyers with his hit scan. He's a great choice. Finally, for tanks, if you want to have someone dive, use Thor as a diver. He's great at diving. And then you want the Thing to cover your middle part of your battlefield, or go with Magneto. They're interchangeable. But the point is that you have a tank diving, you have a tank holding the point in the middle part of the battle, and then you've got protection for your DPSs, whether it's Punisher or Namor, and you've got a resistant backline for divers. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you agree with these things? Do you disagree? Am I just full of it? I'd love to hear back from you, and I do stream live a lot when I can. Be sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for when I go live here on YouTube, usually nights and weekends. Look forward to meeting all of you, and thanks again for watching.